What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. And today we will be discussing the news that broke yesterday about 3 Philadelphia Eagles getting tenured in Greg Ward Jr., Alex Singleton, and Boston Scott. But before we get into that, if you are new to the channel and love talking Philly sports every single day, hit that subscribe button and also turn on post notifications so you know when I go live or drop some content. I should be going live late tonight, possibly around 9 o'clock with Philly Insider Podcast. If we can't get it done today, expect that for Thursday. Smash the like button. It's greatly appreciated. Now, with all that out the way, let's get into today's topic, which is Greg Ward Jr., Boston Scott, and Alex Singleton. I made a video a month ago talking about Greg Ward Jr. and Alex Singleton being ERFAs, exclusive right free agents. And that's what they are, and that's why the Eagles went ahead and tenured, pretty much saying we're going to give you a contract for 1 year, and there's nothing you can do about it. If you look here, exclusive right free agents, ERFA, is any player with fewer than 3 accrued seasons and an expired contract. If his original team offers him a 1-year contract at the league minimum based on his credited seasons, the player cannot negotiate with other teams. So depending on how many seasons they had, it's all under 3. So some of them 2, some of them 1. We're going to give them league minimum at that position for them amount of years, which could vary. But that is going to actually work pretty good for the Philadelphia Eagles because, as we all know, the Eagles need bodies to put on the field in 2021, and we are going to be limited in cap space. That means re-signing some of our free agents and going out and get free agents. Now, we all want this draft to hit. The number 6 pick is very important, but so are the other picks. We can't have these guys who get picked who don't play, who don't produce early or at least somewhat in 2021. We had some of them in 2020, and we can't have that for 2021 and going on to get out this cap space. But like I was kind of saying, this could work out good for the Philadelphia Eagles and the 3 players. And like I kind of said earlier, I knew it was Alex Singleton and Greg Ward because the video I did a month ago was only about them 2. I honestly thought Boston Scott was a regular free agent and we were going to part ways. But with him being another one of these ERFAs, it's good. Whether you think Boston Scott is a legit number 2, a legit number 3, or shouldn't even be here, we need people that we can put on the field that we have a little bit of trust in for 2021 until we get to that bridge of 2022 where we do got more cap. And that's where the benefit for both the team and player come in. We need cheap bodies on the field in 2021. And we don't really know what we got out of Alex Singleton or even a Greg Ward Jr., who we see the trajectory is up. It's not all-star level, but both of them played pretty darn good in 2020. Greg Ward being sure hands, not doing too much after the catch. We don't expect that much out of him, but a sure-handed guy in the slot, he was able to get it done. And Alex Singleton, I honestly got to say, was one of our best linebackers, if not the best linebacker. I mean, TJ Edwards played good in spurts, but he was in and out the lineup. And still, Alex Singleton, what he was able to do in a tackling standpoint, a being in the right spot, downhill running standpoint, I liked it. And I think he's only going to get better. Coming from the CFL and being a guy who was undrafted, I think he went to Seattle. He's worked his tail off and he deserves a shot. Now you can say, well, how is this fair for the player? He's going to get league minimum for 1 year no matter what. Nobody else can touch him for at least 1 year. Well, it's a round 2 auditioning. Alex Singleton, Greg Ward Jr., and even Boston Scott in his limited touches show that they can do something. So in 2022, depending on how much they can play, a guy like Alex Singleton and possibly Greg Ward Jr., if we don't go wide receiver, can get some snaps in 2021. And if their trajectory continues to go up, they play like 2020 and or better, the Philadelphia Eagles will be in a lot better shape in 2022 to actually offer these guys a long-term contract. Now, when I say long-term, I'm not talking 5-10 years. Maybe it's a 2 or 3 year deal for a respectable amount of money. Of course, Greg Ward Jr. is not going to cost top dollar money, but we can get him something where he gets a little security and it doesn't really hurt the cap. Same with Alex Singleton. Unless he has a monster year in 2021, he's going to get respectable linebacker money, a little bit more than a minimum, but we can find something that works for both parties. And if he falls off, well, that's where this tag came in handy and we can part ways. But the main reason this tag comes in handy is because we got respectable players in Greg Ward Jr., Boston Scott, and even the biggest one probably, Alex Singleton, who we can get on a league minimum contract for one more year so they can prove why they deserve to be a long-term Eagle, and we can get out of this cap space. And it all starts with hitting in the draft. Free agency is not going to be pretty much anything this year. We might be able to get a little things done, but I don't know. Still about 43 million over the cap. Got a long ways to go with letting some more people go. Derek Barnett, what are we going to do there? A lot of things coming up. But until we know the exact numbers, you got to get all the cheap bodies you can. And Boston Scott, Alex Singleton, and Greg Ward Jr. can contribute. And I'm telling you, at a league minimum, sign me up. And hopefully, they all ball, especially Greg Ward Jr. and Alex Singleton, and they get a little 2 or 3 year deal in the near future. I don't know. We got to wait and see. But with all that being said, I just wanted to go over that news that broke yesterday. And again, I should be going live with Philly Insider Podcast and his partner around 9 o'clock. I'm waiting to get a response back from them. They think we were going to go at 7. Plans changed. I got some stuff I got to take care of. So either we're going to go live at 7 on Thursday or live tonight at 9 o'clock. So turn post notifications on and come through and chill with us. Great young content creators that know their Eagles football. With all that being said, let me know all your thoughts in the comment section about free agency, about these 3 players, and anything you got to talk about, because we are going to have a lot to talk about. March is here, draft profile starting, and free agency. Whatever rumors float around about the Eagles, we're going to talk about them too. I mean, I could talk about Marcus Mariota and all that stuff, but I'm just like, yeah, really? I'm cool. I'll take Tyrod Taylor and call it a day. Simple and plain. Until next time, you guys know what time it is. We out.